Hello and welcome to another analysis behind the news. You may remember a few weeks ago when we mentioned the sandwich smear that Condoleezza Rice threw at us via her Twitter account. Well, the following week, a syndicated columnist by the name of Mark Thiessen lobbed his own editorial bomb when he mentioned that the anti-Semitic John Birch Society had been excommunicated from the Respectable right by William Buckley in the 1960s. This column was originally published in the Washington Post and then picked up by about 15 outlets. But then something interesting happened. Birchers called him on it and pushed back. His and his editor's response was to fall back on the old, well, this is an opinion piece. But they did update it by writing, in the 1960s, William F. Buckley excommunicated the John Birch Society, widely believed then to be anti-Semitic and a proponent of nutty conspiracy theories from the Respectable right. And to help his case, he even provided a link to a 1967 article from the Jewish Telegraphic Agency as proof that JBS was widely known to be anti-Semitic. That proof would stand as long as you didn't click on the link and actually read it. Because in the 1967 article, it mentions that JBS was contributing to the problem of anti-Semitism and not working enough toward correcting the problem. So where does it state that JBS is anti-Semitic? It doesn't. In fact, in an article that they published the year prior, they mentioned 2 Jewish JBS members starting a new organization called the Jewish Society of Americanists. There have been copious amounts of documentation written over the years by the JBS and others that provide ample proof that the organization is not anti-Semitic and it's not racist. The most obvious being that many Jews have served on our national council since day one of the society. So when the Washington Post made the change, 6 outlets picked this up and changed it too. But a couple of key Birchers did not let it rest. They contacted the editors for nearly all of the outlets that had published the original and the change piece. They provided key documentation that proved JBS was not anti-Semitic. And where did they get this from? From some of our educational literature that discussed the issue, including documentation from the California Senate in the 1960s that had investigated the California JBS, of which JBS had fully cooperated, that found JBS to not be anti-Semitic. Oh, and did I mention that the investigation was at the request of JBS founder Robert Welch? Confronted with this evidence, 2 outlets pulled their column from the sites. 3 pulled the anti-Semitic reference, and another deleted the JBS reference. An additional 3 invited and published a letter to the editor to help present the evidence, and another invited a letter to the editor from Jewish JBS Council member Andy Delin. One other thing that JBS members and supporters did was to call attention to this fake news by leaving online comments, which helped to steer the conversation. Alex Newman, one of the main forces behind this, wrote about this experience in an online New American article. A link to it is in the description of this video. What can we learn from this is that there are honest editors who will do the right thing when shown the truth. It also demonstrates that you don't have to let the news column stand. Contacting the editor to help correct the record isn't as hard as you might think. Pull together documentation by looking at jbs.org and thenewamerican.com and present it to the editor. It's amazing what you can accomplish when you present the truth. Our thanks to all those who helped. In the upcoming October JBS Bulletin, we offer some tips for working with the local media. If you're a member, please be sure to read that and work it into your monthly action items. If you're not yet a member, then we invite you to join today at jbs.org. Please be sure to like and share this video and subscribe to our social media channels. Until next time, we'll see you then.